Welcome to my work immersion portfolio. Here's a brief description of myself. Hello, I am Eliza Morana Namor. I'm turning 22 years old this coming October 15. I already have my own family. That's why I choose to study again. I have a 2 years old son and he is one of my inspirations to continue chasing my dreams. When I was in junior high school, my favorite subject was science, but only in biology I'm interested in. But now that I'm in senior high school, I lost my interest in science. I began to have an interest in psychology and in philosophy, but due to being less fortunate, I can only read books about it and can never go to college for it as my course. That's why I suddenly prefer to be an educator, and no matter what, I will still graduate in college and be a teacher someday. I choose Strand because it is in line with my course and with my hobbies. I never regret choosing it, although it's not face-to-face class. Still, I learned a lot of things in my strand. One of my best reasons for choosing my strand was that I badly want to enhance myself to overcome public speaking and to gain more confidence and self-esteem. Also for a reason that it has no math subjects in grade 12. It's not that I really hate math, it's just that I don't like numbers because it easily triggers my anxiety. In Strand, I had experienced hell weeks like the most full of pressure days in my entire study life. But then I had learned a lot of through these rough times. I learned about patience and time management as well. Also because of Strand and online class, I met my online friends and became good at socializing. I had achieved a lot of things from being in a Strand. My expectations in work immersion before is that it provides students real workplace experience, giving students a set of technical, vocational, and livelihood skills that can help them make more informed career choices and improve their employment prospects. But then, pandemic happened and we are not able to go outside and have work immersion. We are only allowed to make a portfolio about it. I expect that even though we're just going to do online activities for our immersion, I still can learn things that will help me in the future. I'm also looking forward to improving my communication skills and building others. I also expect that obstacles are always present in making my way to success. Obstacles are not always problem. It is actually a great help for my learning and growth. I expect that I will be more responsible and committed to my actions. Here's my work immersion objectives. The overall goal of this creative work immersion portfolio is to achieve objectives through cognitive, affective, and psychomotor means in order to better understand its purpose, which will aid us not only in our academic growth but also in every aspect of ourselves. My cognitive objectives are to improve critical thinking skills and to gain more knowledgeable insights that can contribute a big help to the future activities. To enhance comprehension skills to have a better understanding on the activities given. To be able to improve the ability to analyze and evaluate informations needed that can help throughout the activities. My effective objectives are to enhance attitudes, opinions, appreciations, values, and emotional sets for the future, to improve the willingness to respond in every activities, to be able to become motivated to do responsibilities with appreciation and proper behavior. And lastly, my psychomotor objectives. My psychomotor objectives are first, to be able to adapt improvements in speed actions in terms of paper activities through observations. Second, to be able to apply physical knowledge and skills in the future through observations. And last, to enrich communication skills that benefits both mental and physical strength. And here we go with my K concept. I remember there is one person who influenced me a lot during my rough days and had helped me overcome my fears.
When I got to junior high school, I met the most kind, courageous, and very well mannered teacher who was my advisor that time. He is one of the reasons why I still want to pursue college and achieve my dreams. He taught me how to survive in my darkest moments in life. He always gave me some piece of advice that really helped me throughout my journey, and now I'm very thankful to him because I've learned a lot of positive things from him that makes me a strong woman who is capable of everything and that makes me fight despite difficulties in life. I want to become a professional educator someday. Ever since I was young, it has really been my dream to become a teacher. It is my passion to teach and to guide children who have lower academic performances. I want to be an educator because it is my heart's desire to keep on learning and at the same time sharing what I have learned. I know being a teacher is not easy, as I have seen from many teachers, and also the process of reaching this dream was kind of a rough road wherein anytime we can stumble in the middle of a tourney and slightly part of it. However, we can always rise from the fall and fight again and tread the path we have chosen. Despite endless paperwork and extended working hours, teachers should not put all the burdens or blame on their students. They should be careful in the way they go about dealing with disruptions and disciplining students. Inevitably, the naughtiness and disrespect of students often loses your love of teaching and affects you as a teacher, where it would test your patience. I believe if you want to be a teacher, you should always put in mind that teachers' patience is the heart of students' long-term retention of contents and skills. I've realized the importance of assurance once you choose the career you really want, because when you have chosen a path, there's no turning back. Welcome to my work immersion highlights. Hope subject taught me a lot of things that can help me academically at the same time in my everyday life. Here in Hope subject, my most favorite part was when I learned about the energy system. I learned that it has three parts. The first one is immediate ES. This refers to the ATP-CP or adenosine triphosphate creatine phosphate. It does not require oxygen and it is the first system that can be used when doing an activity. The second is the glycolytic ES. Glycolysis is the pathway that splits carbohydrate in order to generate ATP to power cellular work or anaerobic. The anaerobic lactic or AC system provides energy for medium to high intensity bursts of activity that last from 10 seconds to 2 minutes. Lastly is the oxidative ES. It is the most utilized among the three. It provides energy for low intensity activities that last from 2 minutes or a few hours. I have learned that the energy system provides the energy required by muscles for movement. It requires energy to be in the form of ATP. ATP-CP system is anaerobic, which means it does not use oxygen. Lactic acid system is anaerobic glycolysis that can occur with the presence or absence of oxygen, while the aerobic system is a complex system, also known as oxygen energy system, which means that with the presence of oxygen, it can access massive stores of virtually unlimited energy. It utilizes fats, carbohydrates, and proteins for resynthesizing. My CPAR work immersion highlights. In contemporary Philippine arts of the regions or CPAR subject, we are assigned to report each module group by group. I am included in group 1 by which we had reported about contemporary art forms. Throughout the reporting, I learned a lot of things about art, about its meaning, its function, and its nature. I also learned about the beliefs, the traditional instruments, and the culture of people from different regions. I learned that art is a highly diverse range of human activities engaged in creating visual, auditory, or performed artifacts, artworks that express the author's imaginative or technical skill and are intended to be appreciated for their beauty or emotional power.
Its functions include most important means of expression developed by man to express beauty, to give man a moment of relaxation and spiritual happiness, to serve as a channel of man's passion, to reform man, and to overcome the feeling of restlessness and loneliness. My work immersion highlights in creative writing. When I was in junior high school, imagery was taught by our teachers in English. However, I just realized that imagery has a wide meaning, that it can also be used in many forms of arts, including in creative writing. When we say imagery, it is the use of language appealing to one or more of the five senses. It is used to create images in the mind of the readers, and it includes figurative language to improve the reader's experience through their senses. We all knew that five senses include sense of touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight. Imagery is as vital as diction in creative writing. Diction refers to the word choices a writer makes effectively convey an idea, a point of view, or tell a story. It is also used to establish a distinct voice and style. Throughout the lesson, I realized that figures of speech are important in creative writing because they enhance the beauty of the writing. As I have learned throughout this lesson, it deepens the sentence and leaves the reader in awe. It brings the writer's words to life. The figure of speech not only demonstrates the writer's intent, but also his purpose in employing such language. Figurative language allows writers to make a point or describe an image that a standard sentence cannot. It is a necessary skill to cultivate in creative writing. According to the author's intentions, deftly used in figurative language elicits emotion in the reader. My work immersion highlights in creative nonfiction. Throughout the lesson, I discovered that same as creative writing, figures of speech are also important in creative nonfiction. When we say figures of speech, it are words or phrases that depart from straightforward literal language. Figures of speech are often used and crafted for emphasis, freshness, expression, or clarity. It is a word or phrase that is used in a non-literal way to create an effect. This effect may be rhetorical, as in the deliberate arrangement of words to achieve something poetic, or imagery, as in the use of language to suggest a visual picture or make an idea more vivid. Figures of speech are very important in creative nonfiction. Writers of prose and poetry use figurative language to elicit emotion, help readers from mental images, and draw readers into the work. Figures of speech allow writers to make comparisons that bring scenes to life in ways literal writing cannot. Just like in creative writing, the importance or the role of figures of speech in creative nonfiction is that it enhances the beauty of the writing. It makes the sentence deeper and leaves the reader with a sense of wonder, and it brings life to the words used by the writer. My work immersion highlights in inquiry, investigation, and immersion subject. Here in the inquiry, investigation, and immersion subject, we are taught how to make a research study, how to defend our research title, and the overall research study we conducted. But first, knowing the meaning of research is vital. Research is creative and systematic work undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge. It involves the collection, organization, and analysis of information to increase understanding of a topic or issue. A research project may be an expansion on past work in the field. The purpose of research is enhance society by advancing knowledge through scientific theories, concepts, and ideas. Throughout the discussion, I learned the difference between inquiry, investigation, and immersion. Research as inquiry refers to an understanding that research is iterative and depends upon asking increasingly complex or new questions whose answers develop additional questions or lines of inquiry in field. The purpose of inquiry is to reduce doubt and lead to a state of belief which a person in the state will usually call knowledge or certainty. While an investigation is a systematic, minute, and thorough attempt to learn the facts about something complex or hidden, it is often formal and official.
I just realized that the importance of taking this subject is that it will help the students to enhance problem solving skills through conducting. To conclude, in investigation we are looking for an answer, and in the inquiry is looking for information. And this immersion is to develop our skills and develop our thinking.
My work immersion highlights incest. Throughout this topic about community action, I've realized its importance. Community action is about putting communities at the heart of their own local services. Involving communities in the design and delivery of services can help to achieve a number of objectives, including building community and social capacity, helping the community to share knowledge, skills, and ideas. The community dynamics data gives valuable insight into how people feel about the place they live in and can shape decisions about which services are offered in a particular neighborhoods. I learned that a community is a social unit that shares something in common. This means that socialization is an important factor in community dynamics. As people interact, they start to build relationships that make them share patterns of behavior, culture, norms, and mores. Thus, culture is also formed. There is more to learn about community, and for me, it is very interesting because through studying it, I will be able to understand life.
My highlights in work immersion.
In the first week of our discussion, our teacher taught us about doing our work immersion portfolio. She first discussed the meaning and importance of work immersion portfolio. She taught us that this portfolio is very important because it improves and builds new skills. Immersions will have students gain new skill sets and improve their existing capabilities. It is also through immersion that students get to discover themselves and jumpstart their professional growth. At the beginning of making our portfolio, she guided us through teaching how we will start it. First, we are asked to do introduction to our portfolio by introducing ourselves and telling things about ourselves. Next was the objectives, wherein we cite the purpose of our work immersion portfolio and its benefits to us. Third was about doing the key concepts, wherein we are asked to write our goals in life. Another was about the work immersion highlights, by which we are asked to write the overall conclusions or summarizations of things we discussed in our subjects. In the second week of our discussion, we are asked to start about doing our portfolios. This week, I started doing my introduction. I introduced myself and wrote things about my family, my inspirations, and how work immersion can help me through life. I also wrote about my personal hobbies and my favorite foods and things.
In the third week, I started writing the objectives together with the key concepts. In my objectives, I wrote about the benefits of this portfolio in my cognitive, affective, and psychomotor skills. While in my concepts, I wrote about my plans in the future and my professional goals. I wrote that someday I will be an educator because it's my passion to teach and guide children throughout learning and reaching their goals. In the fourth to ninth week, I started writing the highlights of my portfolio. And in the 10th week, I started to write about my overall reflection and insights about the portfolio.
And here is my weekly diary. And here we go with my overall reflection. While doing the portfolio, I had lot of realizations and questions. I realized one thing in myself, which is being a strong woman for not giving up even in the most frustrating situations in my life. When I say strong woman, it doesn't only focus on one aspect of my personality. It means in every aspect of myself. Because no matter what happens or no matter how hard the problems, the consequences, or the situations are, I surely find ways to overcome them. I proved it at times when my problem came together. I thought I couldn't get through it, but I was mistaken because I persevered and loved what I was doing. I almost didn't know what to prioritize while I was anxious about school activities and also the title defense, in addition to my personal concerns. I just realized it's really hard to study while serving my husband and my son. But still, I did not let myself waver in these trials, but rather I fortified myself to overcome them. I realize how brave I am, for I can be someone I think I can't. While doing this portfolio, questions began to formulate in my mind. Questions like, can I really do this? Will I have the confidence that others have? Or will I ever overcome my fears of failure in everything I do? I knew such questions are common and can only be answered through experience. That's why I'm eager to find out the answers by overcoming my problems. And I was right that if I believe in myself, anything is possible. On the other hand, I admit I was wrong thinking that mistakes and failures are obstacles in reaching my expectations or my goals, because I realize it can also help me grow as a person. Along with that, I also realize it's okay to have those mistakes to correct us. Just don't repeat the same mistakes we've committed.